If you keep attracting the same relationships, the same dynamics, the same emotional patterns, this video is for you. This is not because you're unlovable or because you're doing something wrong. You keep attracting the same relationships simply because relationships are sacred and they are designed to reveal what has not yet been integrated. In this video, I want to walk you through something deeper than surface level dating advice. We're going to talk about why awareness alone doesn't stop relationship patterns, why chemistry is often familiarity, not necessarily alignment, how your nervous system shapes who you're attracted to, why vitality is the missing piece no one talks about, and how to start preparing yourself for the kind of relationships that you actually want to experience. And towards the end, I'll share very practical embodied practices you can start using right away to stop repeating patterns and start reorganizing your life around alignment. What's actually happening when you keep attracting the same relationships? It's definitely not bad luck. Romantic relationships, in particular, are incredibly sacred because they bring up the unhealed, unintegrated parts in us from our early relationships with our caretakers. This is not punishment. This is, I believe, is like the divine design that it gives us the opportunity to resolve these patterns. Your nervous system learned very early what love feels like and what closeness feels like, what safety feels like, or what lack of safety feels like. And what it learned becomes familiar. So later in life, we don't consciously choose partners. We are drawn to what our nervous system recognizes. That's why chemistry can feel so intense and sometimes lead to pain. See, familiar doesn't necessarily mean healthy. Familiar just means it's what you know. We don't attract what we want, we attract what our nervous system is calibrated for. This matters because repeating relationship patterns is exhausting. It drains vitality. It pulls energy away from your creativity, from your purpose, from your joy. It can make you feel so lonely inside, even if you're in a relationship. And many people end up blaming themselves or end up blaming the other person and thinking there's just something wrong with them because they just have not found the person, the right person yet. But the issue is rarely a person, it's the pattern, right? In a wider perspective, on a collective level, we live in a culture that teaches us to chase love, to manifest love, to perform for love. But very little is taught about nervous system regulation, right? About emotional maturity or just learning how to integrate our unhealed parts. So people are trying to build intimate relationships from dysregulated systems and wondering why it feels so hard. A dysregulated inner world will create dysregulated relationships. It's that simple. I want to share two examples that bring this to life. The first one is someone I work with, a man deeply desiring a partner that feels nourishing, grounded, and real. Instead of chasing relationships that leave him feeling drained, he's made the decision. He started to organize his life around the kind of partner that he wants. That means being very intentional about what his business is and the kind of people he works with, how he engages, how he treats his body, what are the boundaries he holds for himself and for his relationships, the kind of emotional maturity he practices. Why? Because he's preparing his life to be able to hold the kind of woman he wants to welcome in, not from a desperate longing, but from readiness. I call that lovership. And I'll share something personal as well. In my own life, I separated from a beautiful relationship, both challenging but extremely meaningful and revealing. And instead of turning that experience into a sad story or bypassing it, I choose to integrate it. I took the time to understand what was being reflected, where my energy could be optimized, where my nervous system wants to show up differently in the next relationship. I think that's what it means to use relationships as the beautiful school of life. This means that you become more available for love by becoming more present with yourself. I'm going to share with you some practices that you can put into place that can really support you in getting specific and affirmative with your energy. The first one is an energy audit. I want you to imagine your energy like the battery on your phone. There are some apps that you have on your phone that you love. You go into them, you spend time in them. There's some apps that are running in the background, just draining your energy. And there's some apps that you didn't delete, but they're still there just in case you need them one day. You kind of have to re-download them if you need to use them. Take a piece of paper and you're going to write 3 lists. The first one is a list of people. You want to write, who are the people that give me energy? Who are the people that are like, neutral? I don't know if they drain me or if I like them or don't like them. And the third energy is the people that you just drain your energy. The people that give you energy, they're like the apps that you're using all the time. The people that are like neutral, they're like the apps that are there running in the background, just draining your energy you're not even aware of. You want to be cautious about those people because sometimes we're giving energy into those things, but they're not actually giving us energy back. And then there's the people that just drain your energy. Those are the apps that for some reason you still didn't delete but are there and you're just not looking at them. Then I want you to make a list of your tasks. You make a list of your tasks, the tasks that you do for work and for home on a daily basis. And I want you to ask, what activities energize me? What activities deplete me? And what activities just feel completely unnecessary and heavy and I just don't need to do them? And again, right? Look at them like the apps on your phone. And then I want you to make a third list of life patterns. And you want to ask yourself, where am I leaking energy through resentment, through overgiving, through obligation? Vitality begins where you get conscious about how you're spending your energy, what is yours, and what you're ready to stop carrying. And this is so important when it comes to relationships, because unless we're affirmative with how we're using our energy in our life, it's going to be very hard for us to magnetize someone that's doing the same, or a good partner, the ideal partner for us. The second practice is that you're going to create an expectation inventory. I want you to answer quickly without giving yourself time to think or time to make it acceptable or reasonable. I want you to write the first things that come to mind. The first question is, what do I expect when I get close to someone? What do I expect from love? What do I expect from intimacy? What do I expect from commitment? And then I want you to ask, where did I learn these expectations? Are they from my parents, from my past relationships? Are they from culture? You want to examine them because unexamined predictions become unconscious predictions. These predictions become the filter through which we see reality and therefore influence how we feel, how we think, how we expect other people to behave, and therefore it influences their behavior even, and how we express in our life and who we allow, who we share energy with. The third practice is the release of bound energy. I want you to notice where you're still bound, contract with someone else, right? Where have you not been able to forgive? What experiences have not been integrated for you? And this isn't about letting someone off the hook. It's about reclaiming your energy. When energy unbinds, you become more attractive. You literally have more light, more energy in your system. You become healthier. The fourth practice is optimizing for joy and vitality. I want you to ask yourself and be super honest. What nourishes me? This is not to impress others or to have some sort of outcome. This is just the simple research of what is giving me aliveness, what actually helps my vitality reorganize, about what gives my life value and meaning. And these are things that you were doing when you were a child that naturally brought you joy. You want to think about, how can I incorporate those activities, whether it's singing or painting or doing things with your hands or speaking, whatever that is, whatever those seeming unimportant things are, how can you include them into more of your life? Why is that important? Because when you have greater levels of joy in your life, you naturally start attracting people who are embodying their own joy and who can be good mirrors to you. Remember that if you keep attracting the same relationships, it's because you've been given the great opportunity of integrating something. And when you do, you open up yourself to receive greater levels of your own life force. When you prepare yourself, when you regulate your nervous system, when you organize your life around alignment, you stop chasing love and it starts responding to you. If you feel called to go deeper into this work and stop repeating patterns and start living from greater levels of alignment, this is exactly what I guide people through. And whether you take the steps or not, let this moment be the beginning of a different relationship with yourself, because vitality isn't something that you manifest, right? It's not something that you can delegate. It's something you reclaim by how you show up in your life in relationship with yourself first. If this video is helpful, please subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.